Hey everybody, here we go. This is the 2019 version of the non-writing Proctor Examiner Logistics Training session that is required by Commonwealth of Virginia. Before we go, everyone's got to do this training. If you're watching this, you're opting for the virtual version, but if you're not getting it, if something's not making any sense, please let me know. Email me, flag me down in the hall, or come to one of the in-person sessions on Monday or Tuesday. If you are hanging your hat on the virtual version, just make sure you sign the sign-in sheet that's hanging on my door and get me the last page of the test security agreement. Throughout this process, continue to double check the schedule. I will endeavor to email you directly if any changes affect you. I've cut a lot of logistics out of this presentation. Those are going to be in email. So pay attention to email, and as always throughout this process, just be flexible. We're all working together here. Classroom prep. I've been getting a couple questions about this already. If your classroom is going to be used for testing, which it is, we're using pretty much every space in the building, might need to do some prep work. Don't stress about it. Just look at the schedule, see how many kids are going to be in your room, make sure you can accommodate that. If you can, if your room doesn't permit that, furniture-wise, just let me know. We can work it out, but the sooner the better. In terms of posters, student work, just having words on it, not a problem. But if it's directly related to the content of the test that you are administering in that room, it needs to be covered up or taken down. Better safe than sorry on that. You really hold those items near and dear, cover it up with butcher paper. Otherwise, you can get an early start on pulling stuff off the walls for the end of the year. If you got a question, let me know. Not a big deal. This is a sign-in sheet that'll be on my door. That's on the left. On the right is the test security agreement. This is the fourth page of the document. This is the only page that you need to return. The rest of it is just really stating what you're signing to and signing your life away on. On the day of the test, slight change just due to the way that we're doing things this year. We have one pickup location for each testing day. Civics and science, the first and last SOLs of the year. Pickup will be in the House A workroom. Come and get your bin and all your stuff and sign the forms. On math and reading days, just to centralize, it'll be in House B to come and pick everything up. If you are the first proctor or the only proctor for that particular test, please try and get to the workroom by 8 o'clock. Earlier is better. I will endeavor to be there, or David will, early each day. If we can get our act together, we will try and make it an option to come and pick it up the day before, as long as you can secure it in your wardrobe to not have to wait in line or stress out about it in the morning. In that box, and you'll see this and we'll explain it if you have any questions, all the things that you need. No different than how we've done it previous years. Everything that you need will be in there. Getting started. We will most likely be releasing students normal time from holding areas, 8:20. They're all going to report to their locations. Schedules will be posted everywhere. I do recommend / ask that, particularly the core content teachers that have SOLs with their content, start telling your students where they're going early and often. When they get there, we want to get them in the rooms. I really don't want to see big lineups outside of the rooms. That just slows things down. Get them in there. I recommend, if you have a few minutes, all the test tickets will be in alphabetical order when you get them. I recommend seating kids alphabetically. If you could have it set up where all the desks already have their test ticket, their scratch paper, pencil, calculator, whatever they need already laid out, that really helps testing get started much quicker because we need to get the ball rolling. Taking attendance, you'll have 2 copies of the roster. Just make sure you're taking attendance, give it to one of the runners, get started. Same as always with the electronics, they can't have anything that connects to the interwebs. We'll be hollering at them in the locker bay. If they get there in the 8:20 to 8:30 range, send them back. If they have something, put it away. If it's after 8:30, it's in the instructions to ask students if they have anything. If they do, follow the instructions. Power them down, collect them, make sure you get them back at the end. Reading test directions. One change this year. Just to make things a little bit easier, I think we're going to make photocopies of just the instructions. It'll just be a much smaller packet of the information you need. If you want the full book, because there's a whole lot of information there, I'll be glad to give you one. I just wasn't going to hand those out to everyone. And honestly, I don't have enough of those books to hand out to the entire school on some of these days. Everything you need to read will have say underlined instead of highlighted because it's photocopies. Please read instructions verbatim. No improvisation. They are poorly written, but that's what the state gives us, so we're going to go with it. So just stick with it. Even if you feel like you want to clarify, just roll. This is a testing ticket. These are considered secure testing materials. They have to be accounted for and turned in. Just keep track of them. They do need to sign their test tickets. That's in the instructions. There is a section right under signature where it says testing device ID. You can see it there. Nothing to do here. That's only for if they're testing on iPads. During testing, your responsibility is to be visible and to monitor the room. You want to keep things secure, make sure students aren't talking to each other, that sort of thing. Proximity is the most powerful thing. Walk the room. I'm not expecting you to get 10,000 steps, constant walking mode. Feel free to do things that are going to maintain your sanity. Read a book, whatever you need to do. But sitting in the corner grading papers, not a great look. If we do have a student issue, that's we don't want to go down that road. So just be visible, be moving around the room, maintain your sanity as best as you can. You're not alone. You probably are alone in the room, as we only have one proctor in most testing situations. But we've got support staff, we've got folks assigned to hallway duty. If a student needs to go out, just make eye contact with one of the hallway support folks. We'll keep an eye on them getting to the bathroom and back. Drink of water. You've got a water fountain most likely in proximity to your room. You don't need an escort. You can just sort of eyeball that. If you need a break, please, 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 please ask. We're here for you. Quick breaks, but breaks are definitely recommended. And if you are coming in to relieve someone, just make every effort to get there on time. All right, SPED and ELL accommodations. All these will be laid out. These are the most common form of testing irregularity is a student not getting an accommodation they're supposed to, or a student getting an accommodation they're not supposed to. So I'm going to work closely to make sure all this is buttoned up before testing. Everything will be explained and highlighted when you pick stuff up. If you have any questions, ask. If you are on hallway support, be visible, be available, walk in the halls, checking in with teachers to see if they need a break every now and then. I just want you guys to be aware, life happens. There's going to be staff members that are out, that have sick kids, that sort of thing. I've built the schedule in such a way that nobody should be losing playing blocks. If I do need to pull you, I apologize in advance. It's only because we have no other options. But we will compensate you for your time. So if I do pull you, shoot me an email. Let me know how long you ended up being in there, and we'll take care of you. Admin team, you're on call too. Yeah, that's all I got on that. Tech support. We're doing very, very similar to what we did during map testing. It'll be slightly pared down from that because there's not as many options and issues with the TestNav software as there was with map. So it's all going to be on the spreadsheet. David and I can reset tests remotely, so we don't have to be going in and out of classrooms. More information coming on that in a future email. Disruptive students. I think most of the time the kids are just fine. If you do have a squirrel, standard teaching techniques. Verbal warnings, proximity, move them to a different seat, separate them from their friends. If you need support, we'll move them. That's not a problem at all. There's always another room where they can finish up testing. That's not an irregularity. And just know that any student that has to be moved is going to be most likely doing after school detention or Friday school. End of the test. And this is one that gets emphasized every year in the training that I have to sit through. When they're done, just walk over. All you say is, are you ready to submit your test? That's it. Even if you're looking at the screen, you can see they've got 3 unanswered questions. don't be like, are you sure you're ready to submit the test? And I know that it's human to like, come on, seriously, kid, do it. But we're really not supposed to do that. Students, when they're done, sit tight, read a book. That's it. If they are done, need to go to the bathroom, they can just go. But Proctor, the hallway monitors will be out there. At the end, when everything is done, just sort of do your best to sort and organize things. If you could pile up the test tickets and scratch paper that's been used in one pile, anything that's been unused separately, trying to reuse materials as best we can if they haven't been written on. Please then return your bin to the place you picked it up. It's a slight change. We're not going to have necessarily a personal handoff with the school-wide testing, but we will call the workrooms a secure environment, more or less. Then you'll sign the paper that you signed out. You'll sign everything back in. If you do still have students working, we'll take those materials off your hands and you're not responsible for them. Yeah, similar to how we've done in the past, we'll be keeping an eye on things. We'll sweep up kids to the library around 11:25, 11:30 each day. Math is usually the bugaboo in the spring. So just stay tuned on that. If we get done early, we built this out. I'm getting a lot of thought to this. We probably could get away with civics and science being just in a 90-minute block, but as soon as we count on that, it's not going to work. So we'll be monitoring in real time. Once we get to that critical mass where we can move them, we'll move them, and we will resume block 3-4 classes. That'll all be done over PA. Again, science and civics tend to be quicker. Reading and math tend to be slower, so stay tuned. That's the end. Trying to cut things down, keep things short. Please email me or David with any questions. If this didn't really scratch your itch or make you feel comfortable with the process, please come to one of the trainings after school Monday or Tuesday. Thank you.